For more, we cross now to our SABC News East Africa correspondent Sarah Kimani, who is in Nairobi, Kenya. Sarah, what are you seeing so far?
Well, we are here at the National Tallying Center, where the process of tallying is still very slow. We understand that there are returning officers who still have not brought their physical forms to the tallying center, because according to the laws, the electoral laws that the country is using now, they must bring all the physical forms here, and only then can the Electoral Commission announce the results. So to just take us through exactly where we are right now and how much longer the country must wait, I'm joined by Dr. Njoki Wamai. She's a political scientist who has followed Kenya's electoral process for some time now, and she'll tell us exactly what is left and what is needed. Thank you, Njoki, for joining us. Tell us, we are here now, but some people feeling that it is taking too long. The anxiety in the country is growing. Observers saying, hold your horses, be patient, stay calm. Is it taking too long according to you?
Yes, of course. It's taking much longer than previous elections, because we can only judge it based on a certain standard, the previous election. But also Kenyans and also maybe the viewers in South Africa and the rest of Africa need to know there is a reason why this is taking long. It's because the laws, after if you remember what happened in 2007 and then 2013 and 2017, the challenges we had. So we put in laws to make sure that there is greater transparency and also there is greater accountability. And these laws, electoral laws, are what has delayed, because, for instance, in previous elections, we never used to have we did not have to have the what are they called, the returning officer bringing the form 33A and B. And for those who are outside Kenya, those are the forms that, or the results forms generated at the polling stations. So they have to be brought physically and they have to be tallied, or not tallied, we already tallied, and also that's another thing we need to talk about. This election, for instance, is very open. There's a portal, there's an IBC portal. Even if you're in South Africa or whichever country, you can actually get onto the IBC portal and also tally the results, even in Johannesburg, and know who has what, and even at the lowest level, at the member of county assembly, at the governor's level, at the presidential levels. But those tallied results, which are very available in our news sites or in our social media, are not the official results. They're only provisional results, and the returning officers have to bring the physical 34B and A here at the National Tallying Center, and then those are now they are used to corroborate the digital or online results that have been received so far. And once the IBC gets those results and can see that they are both in agreement, that's the time they relay them as official results. So that's what is taking time. So
we are paying the price for being transparent and seeking credibility.
Yes, but also we are paying the price for lack of integrity previously. Yeah, our election, if anybody has followed in 2007 what happened with ballot boxes being stuffed, and then also the tallying was a huge problem. If anybody followed, we had a huge, massive voter, like almost a voter avalanche from one night to the previous day. Why? Because there was no transparency. People did not know. And then in the 2013-2017 elections, we had the server problem, the famous server at IEBC. Why? Because the results 34B and 34A were only relayed to the IEBC. So they're the only ones who had access, who had the monopoly. But in 2022, what IBC has done and has really made progress in increasing transparency, they opened a portal and also an app. So in every polling station, the polling clerk and also, the presiding officer and the returning officers would take a picture of their grid results and send them immediately. And that portal they would send to everybody. So anybody, as I said, even if you're in South Africa, you can actually access that portal. And so it has increased transparency, which was not there before. But of course, it has made the process very laborious and and that's why there's a lot of delay, because all those results have to be tallied and then they have to be brought, and yet they are being tallied in the returning, in the, what do you call it, the county level and also polling stations. And then that officer has to bring them here as much as we have them online.
Let's talk about the voter turnout as we wind up. Even the observers today spoke about it and said it is a concern, especially due to the fact that it is the young people in a country with an age of 19. The young people did not come out to vote. Is there a reason why young people are not participating in the electoral process?
Yes, of course. Voter apathy. Kenya has registered the highest voter apathy in its electioneering history. But also to say that this is not unique to Kenya. There is a huge youth bulge in Africa, a huge high population of young people, but also a population of young people who are just tired of our kind of politics. And remember, many young people, especially in Kenya, with one of the highest internet penetrations in Africa, also not just penetrations, internet use. So it means many of our young people, who make up almost 75% of the population, are aware of what is happening in the world, know what a good leader should be doing, know what is expected of the political class. But our political class in the last number of years, there are all these perceptions of amassing wealth, so people get elected and yet so they are seen to amass wealth, they are seen to advance themselves either with tenders and that kind of thing. Yet the situation of young people remains the same with so many challenges. Youth unemployment. Kenya has a youth unemployment, not just Kenya, many African countries, even in South Africa, Nigeria. So high youth unemployment, of course, high inflation rates. The cost of living right now in Kenya, as across, I can imagine, many African countries and around the world, is skyrocketing. So, and also COVID-19. So those three reasons, COVID-19, of course, led to many young people who losing jobs and also losing their businesses. And many of them, they're in the informal sector, in the economy. And so most of those people do not see a reason to vote, because why vote if my life is not going to change? And most of them are saying, I'm going to vote you. Remember, in Kenya, politicians earn some of the highest salaries on the continent, yet it's not such a rich economy. So that's a challenge. So many people it's really an indictment of the political class. And they're saying, we don't have to vote. Yes, it's our right, but I mean, if you don't change the way we do politics, we're not going to wake up and vote for you. And I think it's a big thing they're saying, and they need to be taken seriously.
And that brings us to the end of the interview. But before we go, one of the other issues that came out of the press briefing with the observers is that even though the Electoral Commission had 5 years to prepare for the elections, the Treasury here, the Ministry of Finance, gave them money too late. And so even in terms of voter education, voters did not have enough time to prepare. They did not have enough education to know how to vote, which ballots to cast. And so in that, they still, in this election, just like the previous election, a lot of spoiled ballots, a lot of people who also did not turn up because they did not see the value, or they did not understand why it is important to exercise their democratic right. As we speak now, the National Tallying Center is busy, a beehive of activity, but we understand the earliest that the country will know, and indeed the continent will know, the winner of this year's general elections is on Saturday morning. We will leave it there for now, but we will keep you updated if and when we receive the news. Thank you, Dr.
Thank you.
That's now correspondent in Nairobi, Kenya, Sarah Kimani, keeping a close eye on these tallying as it continues in those Kenyan elections. And of course, the coverage continues right here on SABC News. But that's it from the SA Today team.